Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Businessman charged following shooting incident on Beeson Street. A businessman has been stopped with several charges after allegedly shooting another man during a confrontation on Beeson Street, Kingston recently. Charged with wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition is 42-year-old Derval Thompson, otherwise called Indian or Coolie, of Lovelane in the parish. Reports are that Thompson approached and confronted a man about a dispute he had with someone else. Thompson then pulled a firearm, shot the complainant, and escaped on foot in the area. The police were summoned and the man was transported to the hospital, where he was admitted and treated. On Sunday, June 25th, Thompson was arrested by the police and was subsequently charged on Monday, July 3rd. Teen boys accused of stealing from primary school tuck shop. 2 teen boys have been charged after allegedly stealing from the tuck shop of a primary school on Law Street in Kingston on July 1. The teens, a 15-year-old and a 14-year-old, were charged with shop breaking and larceny. Reports are that about 8:45 p.m., they pried open a window to the tuck shop of a primary school and stole goods valued over $50,000. A report was made to the police. Both teens were later arrested and charged by the police on Monday, July 3rd. Some of the stolen items were recovered, and they are set to appear in court on Thursday. House Speaker puts report from Auditor General on hold for 2 months. 2 reports from the Auditor General relating to investigations into some public bodies have been held for tabling in the lower house for 2 months. House Speaker Marissa Dalrymple-Filbert noted that the 2-month hold is a legal stipulation. The Speaker related to Parliament that the practice over the past 2 years was to table reports from the AG when they were submitted, but this is wrong. Mrs. Dalrymple-Filbert said practice cannot supersede the law. She pointed out that her role as Speaker is not a ceremonial one, therefore it requires her to read carefully and follow the instructions in law. The Speaker lamented that she, like others, had fallen into the trap of continuing an unlawful practice. She has written to the Auditor General seeking his guidance on the matter.
All reports of the Auditor General's Department has always been tabled in this House upon receipt of the said report, whether it is a report in the ministry, on an agency, or on a public body. However, members, the practice in general is not, in my understanding, in keeping with Section 30 of the Financial Audit and Administration Act. That section, Section 30, provides for the Auditor General's report on a public body to be tabled where the minister with responsibility for that public body fails to report to this Parliament within a 2-month period. Section 30, subsection B of the FAA Act. And I invite all of you to read it. What I am saying, it doesn't matter how long you do something. If you have done it for years and years and have gotten away with it, it cannot supersede a specific law if there's a law that guides how a matter is to be dealt with. As members of this House, we have not carefully read all the documents that come before us, and we have, from year to year, continued a practice without questioning or looking at the law. And I'm the first to raise my hand. I have said, I have come to this Parliament as a Speaker, and I have fallen prey to the same thing, because I've come and been quite a dodo bird in following certain instructions without asking for the relevant law. But as time goes on, and my interest in the Parliament, and this is the only way the Parliament will grow, is if we read, question, and understand.
Murders continue in St. James despite SOE. Despite the introduction of the state of public emergency SOE, murders continue to plague St. James. Since the start of the week, 2 murders have been recorded as the parish continued to lay the island as the most bloody police division. The latest on record was a man that was shot and killed in the early hours of Tuesday morning. He has been identified as 23-year-old Nicoy Dove, otherwise called Coy, of Bottom Pen in Glendevon, St. James. According to a police report, residents heard explosions about 12:07 p.m. and alerted them. On their arrival, Dove was seen with gunshot wounds. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Just prior to that, in a separate incident on Monday, 58-year-old farmer Lenroy Buchanan, otherwise called Sonny Boy, was shot and killed by unknown assailants in his community of Rosemount. Reports are that about 5:30 p.m., Buchanan was on the roadway playing with a group of children when he was attacked and shot. He was taken to hospital where he also died. The St. James police are investigating both incidents. Health Ministry allocates funds for a summer health fair program. The Health Ministry has allocated $3 million to each constituent for 2 special health initiatives aimed at tackling non-communicable diseases, NCD. They will be rolled out over the summer months. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton announced the program in Parliament. He said $1 million will be divided equally between 2 health fairs to be hosted in each political constituency. The other $2 million will go towards rehabilitating community centers and encouraging more persons to use them. He said the main requirement for each member of Parliament is to mobilize persons using their network connections, as well as to liaison with the regional health authority in their respective parish on areas to target. Dr. Tufton noted that the program will allow the National Health Fund, NHF, to collect data which will inform health terms response to persons with NCDs.
$1 million Jamaican allocation to each member of parliament to host at least 2 health fairs. One could be a back-to-school health fair, but other we would want to see addressing the older post-high school population. So that will be one initiative, Madam Speaker, 2 health fairs over the next 2 to 3 months. Once persons who have been tested, and you're doing so in conjunction or collaboration with the regional health authorities and the National Health Fund. Once persons are encouraged by the leadership on the ground of our members of parliament and their respective teams, then we will take additional necessary steps to provide counseling and support to these persons. If they are in good stead, encouragement to remain that way. And if they are not, to provide support through the health system, starting with the health centers in the community, but if necessary, elevate to the secondary health system, the hospital care, to allow persons the opportunity to correct any challenges that they face. We wanted to send a message as part of a process. This is not going to do it fully, but it starts by allocating, as part of this summer program, an additional $2 million Jamaican dollars to each member of parliament. And the program around Know Your Numbers and primary health care, which are very much linked, is to work with the regional health authorities, the parish health officers in particular, within your parish as an MP, to identify, based on a needs assessment, that particular primary healthcare facility that is most in need of very, very basic support. As part of the credibility restoration, mobilize the community within and around that particular facility to be part of that enhancement using those resources, and to allocate a portion, I'm suggesting maybe $500,000 of the $2 million, to doing a third Know Your Numbers activity around that particular health center during that period of 3 months. Data is critical to this program, and so the National Health Fund, who is providing the resources, will work with the regions, and they have already put in place a system of data collection. In other words, if you do 100 persons and 20 of them have hypertension, and 10 of that 20 are so bad that they are bordering a stroke, they'll be referred to the hospital. But we're going to collect that 100 persons data, and we are going to use that data to determine what are some of the things that are necessary in terms of the profile of the population. So it's not just an immediate response. It's not just building back credibility at the community level. It's about the people in the community and what we do for them once we determine what their condition is. Just to remind members, Madam Speaker, that the 4 critical tests that we will do would be blood pressure, blood sugar, body mass index, and cholesterol. Those will be enough to give us a good indication as to the health status of the individuals and then trigger a likely follow-on if that becomes necessary.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell